The second thing is, we do a very, very standard thing. We do the scanner. We see this would be the course input, right, or curriculum input. We create a new scanner, new file. The file name is called curriculum.txt, and while we continue to have the input, okay, now let me just organize the input. Okay, good. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a new course. That's curr.add a course. We are going to add a course with name, title, prerequisite 1, prerequisite 2. So what I'm going to do, because here it will be .next, right? And in fact, all this would be string, so it will be very easy for us. And we are done with the input for the curriculum. And the next thing is we are going to create for the course taken, right? So essentially, I call this as grade as G in. So this is for grade input. Is equal to new scanner new file that will be course taken .txt. We see while G in as next, continue this process. What we need to do is we need to create a list of grades. And what we are going to do, we see grades dot add a course taken with G in dot next with G in dot next. And I have all the input is in, and we are ready to fly here. We say curriculum dot what? Find eligible with the grades. And we are going to generate the list. And that's the result that you have. Okay? And all you have to do is you want to test. You want to test whether or not the result you get is correct without the sorting. Okay, without the sorting. Whenever you want to do this, I would say quickly create the toString method for all these, okay, so that you will know what's going on. So for the eligible course, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a toString with all this information. So what I'm going to do is, after each, I'm going to have a new line there, okay? Let's create at the end because this is most standard, okay? And then, because this one would use the course info, which is a course, so we do the same thing. We try to create a toString and with all this information, okay? Similarly, we create for course taken. Let me add a new line so that we will make the output looks a little bit better. And what we can do is, if you go to the advising, you get a list of eligibles. If you want to take whether or not the result is correct, do a quick print line and just say eligibles. And you would be able to examine what the result you have got. And now what you need to do is create the testing file. Come here, create the test file 1. This one is called curriculum.txt. Similarly, create another one. It's called course-taken.txt. Go back to advising. Go ahead and write. And you will find, if you look at the strings, that the strings information get computed correctly. You have the result already. It's not, because you look at the 425, just look at 425. I do have prerequisite 1 and I have prerequisite 2. I have an A and B. This is correct. Then I look at the 442. I have one prerequisite, other prerequisite there. And the strings that I have here is, let's see, 442 is 3.0, but I get a C there. And in the sample output, that is 2.0. Now I really need to look at compute strings part, okay? So let's look at compute strings. Or strings would be the eligible one. So it will be this case when the prerequisite 2 is equal to null. Look at what's the strings is defined. It would be just, it would not be this one. So take this one out. Okay? That's what it should be. And what you are going to do is save it and go back, test again, and try to say, is the result correct? 3.5, and you have 2.0, 2.5, 2.0. So the result is correct up to this point. The only thing that we don't have is sorting, and we don't have the output. That's the only two things that we don't have. Okay? So here it will be pretty easy for us to do. And what we are going to do is we are going to do a sorting first. We see collections dot sort, and we are going to sort the eligibles, and we are going to create a comparator on course on eligible course. And it would be very, very easy for us to do, right? Because I need to sort in descending order. So what you need to do is you need to create the difference. I see diff is equal to E2 dot get strings. Okay, I do not have a get strings. Let's minus E1 dot get strings. So I have to do a go back to eligible course. Okay. Go to the source for the getter and setter. For the strings, just use the get. Okay. Then I go back to advising. So that's what I have. I'm going to say if the diff is greater than 0, I'm going to return a positive 1. Else, let's say if diff is smaller than 0, I'm going to return a negative 1. Otherwise, I'm going to return 0. Okay? And here, the else is absolutely optional because you are doing a return. Okay? When you do a return, that's absolutely optional. Okay? And we are done. For the output, for the sorting purpose, quickly test whether or not the result is correct. And you will say 3.5, 2.5, 2.0, 2.0. So now everything is good. The only thing that we are left with would be for the output. So output, everybody knows, it's very, very standard. We are going to use which class? Which class we are going to use? Print writer. The file name that I need to have would be ranked eligible. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to iterate through the eligible. But before that, I need to print len the header, right? So what's the header? The header would be course number, tab, course title, tab, strings of prerequisites. And then we go through a loop. We will let pw.println these eligibles get the I. I'm going to have an outer string for output purpose. Okay. Then come back here. I create an outer string. And when I do that, I'm going to say return. The first one is the course number, right? So it would be course info dot get number. Then I like to have tabs here, right? Because I know that the header is much longer. Let's do 2 tabs here, okay? Plus, that will be course info dot get the title. Let's add 2 tabs here. The next thing will be the strings. So it will be this dot strings. And I get back to the advising, and I have that. Then all I have to do is I just make sure that I close to make sure that the result gets flushed back to the file. Alright. Refresh everything. Look at ranked eligible. And if you look at this, okay, all the result is correct, except it's not probably aligned that well. And what you are going to do, probably you like to play is a little bit. Say here, and what we are going to do is we run it again. Make sure that you refresh it. And that's about correct, right? Okay.